Hello and welcome to Bangla City SATV News. This is Nahin Tahir with our headlines. Nation observed Begum Rokeya Day today. Prime Minister urged women to move forward, breaking social barrier at Begum Rokeya Padak 2021 award ceremony. A Rajshahi court sentenced 9 people to death and 22 others to life term imprisonment for killing a Bangladesh Chhatra League leader. Country's first ever metro rail will run experimentally from Uttar to Agarga on December 12th. 8 seats of train will run without passengers. The nation is observing Begum Rokeya Day today to mark the 141st anniversaries of the birth and death of Begum Rokeya Shaukat Hussain, an exponent of women's rights in India's subcontinent. As a chief guest, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina attended Begum Rokeya award giving ceremony virtually from her Ganabhavan official residence today. She distributed Begum Rokeya Padak 2021 to 5 eminent women for their outstanding contribution to women empowerment and social development. The awardees are Professor Hasina Zakaria Bella for women education, Archana Bishwas for women's rights, Shamsun Nahar Rahman Poran posthumous for socio-economic development of women, Professor Dr. Zinat Huda for Women Revolution through Women Education, Literature and Culture, and Dr. Shaira Sultana for Rural Development. In this occasion, the Premier urged the women to move forward, breaking all the social barriers, big or small, taking the path guided by Begum Rokeya, a pioneer of women's rights. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has begun ranked 43rd in Forbes' annual list of 100 most powerful women. The list includes 40 CEOs, 19 world leaders, and an immunologist for the first time. Philanthropist Mackenzie Scott is number 1 on Forbes' list. In second place is U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris. The 18th annual list includes people from 30 countries and regions working in finance, technology, politics, philanthropy, entertainment, and more. The longest-serving Prime Minister in the history of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, is currently serving her 4th term. She won her 4th term, her 3rd in row, and her party, the Bangladesh Awami League, won 288 of the 300 parliamentary seats. A Rajshahi court has sentenced 9 people to death and 22 more to life term imprisonment for killing Bangladesh Chhatra League Rajshahi Court College Unit leader Shahin Shah in 2013. Judge H.M. Ilyas Hussain of Rajshahi Metropolitan Session Judge Court handed down the punishment today. Shahin Shah, younger brother of Rajshahi City Corporation Panel Mayor 2 Rajab Ali, was killed on 28 August 2013 in an attack launched by his political opponents. Nahid Akhtar Nahan, brother of the deceased, filed a case with Rajpara Police Station the following day. Country's first ever metro rail will run experimentally from Uttar to Agarga on December 12th. 8 seats of train will run without passenger. Managing Director of Dhaka Mass Rapid Transit Company said all preparations, including installation of electric lines, power transmission line and station, have so far been completed for the test runs. Performance tests will be conducted till Agarga in the month of victory. Ubaid al-Qadir said the commercial operation will begin by late 2022 after a total of 14 months of performance tests, including 5 months of trial runs. Dr. Murad Hassan, who lost his cabinet membership for giving offensive and vulgar speech about the women that became viral on social media, has been taking preparation to leave the country. Reports said Murad has bought a ticket yesterday to fly to Canada tonight. Earlier on Tuesday, he submitted his red passport on the day of his resignation. Meanwhile, steps are underway to take legal actions against the disgraced former state minister. Viewers, we are taking a short break. Stay with your Bangla City SATV News. Welcome back. You're watching your Bangla City SATV News. Now elsewhere across the world, tributes have poured in from around the world for India's top military commander who died in a helicopter crash on Wednesday. General Bipin Rawat was on a visit to Defence Services Staff College, Wellington, to address the faculty and student officers to the staff course. Around noon, an IAF Mi-717 V5 helicopter with a crew of 4 members and 9 other passengers met with a tragic accident near Kannur, Tamil Nadu. General Rawat, his wife Madhulika Rawat and 11 other persons on board had died in the accident. General Rawat and his wife Madhulika's funeral will be held on Friday. The general will be cremated with full military honors. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is deeply anguished by the helicopter crash. US President Joe Biden will gather 111 world leaders in a virtual meeting dubbed the Summit for Democracy in what Washington hopes will be a boost for global democracy threatened by an increase in authoritarian rulers. US officials promise a year of action will follow the 2-day conference, but preparations have been overshadowed by a question over some invitees' democratic credentials and complaints from uninvited countries. Biden will deliver opening remarks on Thursday local time. However, President Biden to host virtual summit for democracy amid tensions with China and Russia. The UN Human Rights Chief Michelle Bachelet has stressed that forced vaccination under no circumstances can be acceptable, adding countries need to respect human rights when introducing vaccine mandates. Meanwhile, World Health Organization says the Omicron variant seems more transmissible but less severe than other variants. Health Emergency Program Director Michelle Ryan said in an interview with media that preliminary data do not show Omicron to be a more severe disease than other variants like Delta. UN Chief Adhanom Ghebreyesus also cited studies from South Africa that found people who contracted the Omicron variant faced much milder symptoms than those who were infected by the Delta variant. But he also said much more research is still needed. To slow the spread of the Omicron coronavirus variant, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson imposed tougher COVID restriction in England. Boris ordered people to work from home, wear masks in public places and use vaccine passes. Johnson said Omicron was spreading rapidly and he had no choice but to move to Plan B while a vaccine booster program rolls out. The new measures were described as a hammer blow for city center restaurants, cafes and shops that are desperate for Christmas trade to rebuild their finances. However, many lawmakers in Johnson's own party are also angry with the new restrictions. Nearly 300 journalists put behind bars and 24 killed around the world, report said. Number of journalists jailed around the world hit a new record in 2021. New York-based Committee to Protect Journalists listed 50 journalists imprisoned in China, 26 in Burma, 25 in Egypt, 23 in Vietnam and 19 in Belarus, adding those jailed in Saudi Arabia, Iran, Turkey, Russia, Ethiopia and Eritrea. The CPJ said a total of 293 journalists were in prison worldwide. However, for 40 years, the CPJ has denounced journalists being murdered, imprisoned, censored, physically hurt and threatened. Social Democrat Olaf Scholz was sworn in as German Chancellor on Wednesday, ending Angela Merkel's 16 years of conservative rule. It paves the way for his coalition government that has promised to boost green investment and strengthen European unity. Scholz, 63, who over the past 4 years served as Vice Chancellor and Finance Minister in coalition with Merkel, won a majority of 395 votes from lawmakers in the lower house of parliament, Bundestag President Barbel Baas said. In the afternoon, Merkel officially handed over the Chancellery to Scholz and wished him a steady hand as the country faces a brutal fourth wave of coronavirus infection and challenges to its democratic order from authoritarian leaders. North Korea takes watching foreign content very seriously that it is punishing a man who smuggled South Korean Netflix series Squid Game into the country with death. The student who brought the USB drive received a life sentence, with 6 others have been sentenced to 5 years of hard labor. This is the first time the North Korean government has applied a recently passed law that penalizes the distribution, watching or keeping of media from capitalist countries on minors. The authorities also fired the teachers and school administrators, sending them away to remote areas for mine work. Bollywood actor Jacqueline Fernandez's friendship with alleged conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar has attracted a lot of attention, and the actor has not stopped being in the headlines. Directorate of Enforcement (ED) filed charges against Chandrasekhar and others in connection with INR 2 billion money laundering case. Meanwhile, Fernandez appeared at the ED office in Delhi on Wednesday for a fresh round of questioning. The agency said that Fernandez was also given costly gifts such as a horse worth INR 5.2 million and a Persian cat worth INR 0.9 million by Chandrasekhar. Actor Noor Fateh was also questioned in the case. Now sports. Bangladesh cricket team arrived in New Zealand to play a test series. Team will face the host in a 2-match test series in January 9, 2022 in Christchurch. Star Bangladesh all-rounder Shakib Al Hasan will not be available for the upcoming 2-match test series in New Zealand. Bangladesh team will get a chance to practice at the end of 7 days quarantine with 3 days isolation. During this time, 3 COVID-19 tests will be conducted on them. Team director Khaled Mahmood Shujan is hoping for something better, as he has enough opportunities to go to the Oceania and practice. UK and Canada have become the latest nation to announce a diplomatic boycott of Beijing Winter Olympics, which kicks off in February. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson explained the decision was made based on alleged human rights abuses in China. Later, Canada followed suit, again citing its human rights concern. Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said the country's boycott should not come as a surprise to China, as Canada has been clear for years about its deep concern over human rights violation in China. The decision came a day after the White House confirmed the U.S. will stage a diplomatic boycott of the game to protest China's human rights abuses. Washington's decision was endorsed by Australia's as well. Before ending, we go through your Bangla City SATV News headlines again. Nation observed Begum Rokeya Day today. Prime Minister urged women to move forward, breaking social barriers at Begum Rokeya Padak 2021 award ceremony. A Rajshahi court sentenced 9 people to death and 22 others to lifetime imprisonment for killing a Bangladesh Chhatra League leader. Country's first ever metro rail to run experimentally from Muttora to Agaga on December 12 without passengers. You're up to date with your Bangla City SATV News headlines, and to know the latest in SATV News, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with us.